All right, here we go. I think we'll do this, and another game jumped out at me too. I think we'll play through this, and then maybe we'll take another run at a Journey to Silius on the NES. That's a game I've only beaten that once. I probably won't be able to beat it if I try it again tonight, but I think I'd like to try it again. So I'm going to say that's what we're going to do. I'll go ahead and put it in the title even, so I'm committed. To at least giving it a try. Might be the best I can do. All right, so go to the options. So I say I don't always finish it, and why I don't always finish this game is because I play it on professional difficulty, and just to be a show off, I decrease my lives down to 1. Believe me, I'm going to use extra lives, and I'm probably even going to use continues, but this will add a lot of drama to the proceedings, and this will make it a lot less likely that I actually am able to finish the run before I run out of continues. I'll be back, Zelda Dude says. Right on. We should still be around for quite a while yet. Just a moment before we get moving here. Okay. My start button is no good. Trying to set the audio in a good place. All right, hopefully that'll be good. Whoa. I'm trying to remember when the last time I played this was. I think in December. I'm back. Ice to meet you, Zelda Dude says. I really like Mr. Freeze. I think he's a very relatable character. The money bags have a $sign with 2 lines through the S. I feel like you don't see that version of the $sign very often anymore. What about in DuckTales? Does anyone remember DuckTales? Didn't Scrooge have a big golden $sign on the vault where he keeps all of his money? I feel like he did, but my question is, did that $sign have 1 or 2 lines through the S? I feel like it probably had 2. I think that the number of lines through the S should indicate how much money is inside. I think that things of low value should have a single line, and things of high value should have a double line. Welcome in, One Up John. Thank you for the raid. You've come into a bit of nonsense. We're very happy to have you here. Tell us what you were doing tonight. How'd your stream go for you? Heart of Ice is my favorite Batman story, Konga says. It's wonderful, right? I think that story, like, that's what made Mr. Freeze, right? Like, I know there was a Mr. Freeze before that, but he was kind of like a goofy character. And, Heart of Ice really, like, revitalized the Mr. Freeze character. He did, and it had 2 lines. Nice. Yes. You've got to have 2 lines through your $sign. When you've got as much money as Scrooge McDuck, you can afford the extra line. We're somewhere between gastrointestinal distress and DuckTales talk. It doesn't sound... I didn't read that as if that's a... I didn't read that as if those are both adjectives for the noun talk. I read that as if gastrointestinal distress is its own noun in that sentence. What Up John says, it went well playing some TurboGrafx 16 games. Did you come across any gems? Did any of them stand out as being particularly fine tonight? I beat this game 1 time on Switch with heavy rewind use, Elder Dude says. This game is tough as nails. It certainly is. It never gets easier. No, I've played through and beaten this game dozens and dozens of times, and I still struggle with it every time. Terrible dragon use. Nice catch. I'm beginning to understand why my grandma would call randomly, super excited to tell me about stuff like bran muffins, prune juice, and apple cider vinegar. Oh. See, you said that, I think, because of gastrointestinal distress, but I thought that you were comparing me to your grandmother. Because I got super interested in something as trivial as the $sign lines. I thought you were comparing my rambling to your grandmother's phone calls. Newest version of Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection is even tougher. Probably the toughest one to date. Oh, yeah. Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection is no joke. No joke. I've played through. I've completed one loop of that game on the legendary difficulty. It's so rough. It is so rough. We were doing it on the stream. That's some of the first stuff that I streamed. Might have been my third. I think my first 3 streams. I think they were Ghosts and Goblins, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. I began as a Ghosts and Goblins streamer. I haven't even beaten a single level in that game. Not anything but baby mode. It's tough, it's tough. I mean, I was just being stubborn. I certainly was not prepared for or ready for legendary difficulty. I was just being stubborn because I'm familiar with the old games. So I was like, of course I have to play it on the hardest difficulty. And because of that, I suffered every time I played it. And I still haven't finished it. One Up John says, played some games never heard of, really liked Samurai Ghost. I'm really unfamiliar with TurboGrafx 16 myself. I've never seen one in person. Gonna be lurking, Key says. Thank you for the lurk, Key. Appreciate having you nearby. We'll try to be good, you know, background noise for you. The only thing I really know about the TurboGrafx 16 is I hear it's really good if you like, shmups. That has a really good library of shooters. My grandma's beard was shorter, Conga says. Always exciting to hang with, Frownie. Thank you, Key. You're very kind. So I've beaten this game deathless a couple times. It's not gonna happen tonight. Oh goodness, that woke me up. That woke me up. That was horrifying. I was gonna say I've beaten this game deathless a couple times. It's really hard, and it's not something like, you know, I'm ever likely to repeat. But I would really, I'm hoping in my heart that I can at least clear it with a 1cc. Hey, Arkanoid Addict, thank you for joining us. Always good to have you here. Welcome to Super Ghouls and Ghosts. You came in at a very dramatic time. I thought that boss had me. He had me on the ropes. He had me scared. We're now back in our proper attire. This treasure chest is very scary to obtain. My shield! No! Why my shield? If you're really brave, you can pass through there. Like, you can jump real low above the lava and go around that corner, just above the lava and under the spikes. I'm not really brave to do that jump, but I've seen it happen. I like to just walk off the platform up there. That's my favorite part of the game, right? Just dropping off that platform like that, because it's a very nice little move, and I discovered it all on my own. I mean, I'm sure plenty of other people have too. It's not like it's any crazy trick, but it makes me smile when I do it. You don't have to mess with all those jumps. Hey, Zergling, welcome in. Jumping off platforms is great fun. Rollerblading, I have never rollerbladed in my life. I have skated with like the four-wheeled roller skates, but I've never been cool enough for rollerblades. Nothing wrong with rocking quads. I just got more comfortable with inline skates. Better outdoors too, main reason you switched. I've never been good at skates in general. Even, the quad skates, I just nervous. The only wheels, the only wheels I've ever been like really comfortable on was a bicycle. But roller skating, skateboarding, those are always terrifying activities for me. I never even properly learned how to ride the skateboard. With effective dragon use, you can take this guy out really quickly. I don't have effective dragon use. I don't have effective dragon use at all. No! I completely missed. I thought I was too far back. Longest boss fight in history. My shield again. I'm doing a great job at losing my shield tonight. I love the special form of the scythe myself, the tornadoes. Pretty cool. It's a pretty cool move, but you have to live with the scythe to get to use it. Yeah. I have to admit I have one thing I have neglected is to really train with the alternate weapons in this game. I mean, I've used them, and like I've done things where like I do a playthrough like making every weapon drop mandatory and stuff so that I can mess around with using them. But like I still remain pretty rubbish with most of the other weapons. I actually like the fire quite a bit in this game, though. Oh. I have never broken so many shields. I can't believe it. I like the fire aesthetically. It looks cool, which is not a good reason to like a weapon necessarily, but a tower of blue fire, it's just cool. It's really strong too, and its special is okay. It's not super aggressive, but I mean, the fire, like, it would make sense that the fire, which doesn't have any range, would have a special with no range. Yeah, Ghouls and Ghosts is definitely the easy one. I like Ghouls and Ghosts because it has the only melee weapon, right? It's got a sword. And I love the sword, right? Because Arthur's a knight. A knight should have a sword, right? It just goes together. But you're at a real disadvantage. You're at a real disadvantage if you actually choose to use it. On the cover art for this game, the Super NES box art, there's a knight carrying a sword, and so that was the one thing about this game was I always wanted Arthur to have a sword. I don't know for sure, Conga. I don't think it was a launch title, but my thoughts are meaningless. That was so quick. That's the fastest I've ever beaten the Hydra. That was crazy. Ghouls and Ghosts, what I tell newcomers to play to lure them in. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. Except, Ghouls and Ghosts is like the easiest of them, but I feel like kind of feel like Ghouls and Ghosts Challenge is kind of front-loaded. Too, though, is also sort of a difficulty with it. I skipped a chest way back there. I could probably have a better... I could have a better shield. I should have gotten that. Wake up, flower. Oh, I missed. It's alright. Even if I got the better shield, I would just lose it anyway, as we've seen. Sorry, let me just pause here for a moment. Actually, I don't know if the game launched with any non-Nintendo games. You don't know if the... You mean you don't know if the console launched with any non-Nintendo games? Yeah, VR. We're gonna do... After this, we're gonna do Journey to Silius. I don't know. I just haven't, I might have heard one way or the other, but the info didn't stick in my mind. But I do know this was a very early game for the, communication centers of the brain shutting down. No worries, no worries. I do know it was a very early release. Ghosts and Goblins NES reminds me of Donkey Kong with those ladders. It is. You know what? It kind of is. It's like a C64 game almost, right? There's so many ladders. Are there ladders in every level of... There's no ladders in level 4. I think there's ladders on every level of Ghosts and Goblins except level 4. Level 4 has a bridge, though. And what is a bridge if not a horizontal ladder? So technically, from a certain point of view, which is sideways, there is a ladder on every level of Ghosts and Goblins. Welcome in, Angelus. How are you doing, my friend? Thank you for the raid. Playing Bad Mojo. It's janky. I get it's the only game ever made where you are a cockroach, but I can see why there was only one. Hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you had fun with it, despite the tremendous jank. Super fun one. I remember when me and my collector buddy picked it up at the garage sale way back when. I've only played through Journey to Silius once, so I might not be able to beat it tonight. Because it is a pretty challenging game, but we're gonna give it a try. We'll do our best to give it a sincere effort. But I haven't played it. We played it a year or so ago. So I thought it could be I don't know. I saw it when I went to get this one off the shelf. I saw Journey to Silius out of the corner of my eye and was like, yeah, I'm going to play that one too. It's kind of impulse decisions. This came out 3 months after the SNES. Took that long. It took that long for the Super Nintendo to receive its finest game. Tried to finish Bad Mojo, couldn't get past the Roach Motel maze. You know, I do my best to try and finish every game I start, but not all games are meant to be finished. What am I doing? I have dragons. Why would I fight this guy if I have dragons? It put a lance on my money bag, so I couldn't grab it. I didn't know where that wolf was going. That felt like a weird jump. Never start Deadly Towers then. You forced yourself to finish it, as I recall, Angelus. You finished Deadly Towers. Don't bother finishing it. Can't blame you on impulse decisions after the beatdown Klingerwinger in Dark Souls is giving you. It's funny how it used to be a Terminator game that got canned by licensing, yeah. But you see, that's the thing, is I actually am happy that happened. Right? Because I prefer games that are standalone IP. Rather than licenses. I think that only makes it stronger. Uh-oh. I panicked. I missed my jump and I panicked. We're okay. I somehow survived. Still waiting for the Action 52 live stream. That's the kind of thing I would play, Zelda dude, but you know, we do real physical stuff on the stream, and I don't have the thousands of dollars that it would require to buy that. You know, if someone wants to mail me their copy, if they want to lend it, you mail it in with a self-addressed stamped envelope, and we'll talk. Frownie assumes no liability for lost damage or stolen items. I attempted it but didn't finish it. Spoke to someone who made themselves finish it on the channel last week. Thought it might have been you. Gave it a fair chance and then promptly quit. Thanks, Zelda dude. I can appreciate and encourage the lemonade stand approach. I'm gonna disavow any knowledge of the former activities. I mapped out the entire first dungeon. After realizing it warped around, I looked up the already done maps and decided, no, I'm done right here. Yeah, I don't think I actually own that game yet. It's one of those that, like, I'm tempted to play because of its because of its jank. But hopefully wisdom will prevail. Just hide back. Hang back in the corner and spam dragons. It was VR. It was VR who finished Deadly Towers. Well done. They can't give you a special attack for the mandatory weapon. The point of the bracelet is to make the game harder, not easier, right? I'm surprised that the bracelet's special attack isn't just a self-destruct. No! Ah, no! We're in trouble. I fell off the platform. If you would just run out of health already, I would really appreciate that. When he's doing that attack where the fireball stops on the edge like that, sometimes there'll be a little glitch and one of the fireballs will come through the corner anyway, and you can still get ruined all the way across the screen. It doesn't happen very often, but it's certainly possible. Ah, there it goes. I told you. I told you it could happen. I'm running out of time. Oh, thank goodness. Woohoo! Oh, alright. That's one loop. Game got scary. Game got real scary. Are you running this game in every mode or something? What do you mean, Zergling? Every mode. We're just playing through it once. I'm just doing a casual playthrough. I'm just hoping to beat it. Oh no, I played a Contra game first. We did the Contra Adventure on the PlayStation. That was the first couple hours of the night. Was a different game, and then I took it out when I updated the title. We're playing, we're on professional difficulty, and I turned my stock down to 1. So I might, if I get really stuck, I might not even beat the game. That's why I say I'm trying to beat it. But with this difficulty and the lives turned down, I'll lose continues faster than I can gain them, and if I get stuck for a long time, we may actually game over, and I won't be able to beat it. So we got some, we have some stakes. So far, no deaths. We made it through loop 1 deathless, which is, which is a nice treat. I would like to make it through with a 1cc, but like I would be really happy with the night if I get through with a 1cc. But even that is not really guaranteed. Yeah, I think you specifically, I could be wrong, I think you specifically have to collect a certain number of money bags to get a credit. I think the credits are tied directly to the money bags. I could be wrong, but I always thought that's why because there's a money bag counter on the game over screen. And I thought that's why that was there. You get extra lives every so many points, for sure, though. So at any rate, you know, extra points are... And I mean, either way, if you're on the last stage and you're just continuing from there, regardless of how you earn credits, there's only like a finite number of items and enemies, so... You can't necessarily farm what you need. There's the bracelet, but I don't want to do a whole loop with the bracelet. While we're on a deathless streak, I don't like to mess around with the other weapons and stuff. If I die, if I lose a life, then I'll be more open to joking around with bogus weapons. Could be right. It's been a long time since I played. Do know I was collecting all the money bags I could on my endless attempts at the final challenge. You want them. You want them all. Oh, come on, Angelus. You gotta do two loops. I know you have it in you. I barely have one loop in me, VR says. With the original Ghosts and Goblins on the NES, I still think you have to do two loops, but I would concede that one loop is a little bit more accessible, is a little bit more acceptable on the NES. Only doing one loop. Loop 2 is a little harder. It's not much harder, and you do see all of the, you do see everything on Loop 1 that you see on Loop 2. There's no, there's no aspect of the game that you don't really experience, except for the sort of increased speed of the game. So with the NES one... So one loop is almost okay. With this game, one loop is unacceptable. Two loops are mandatory for this game. You don't even know what the game is like until you try to complete loop 2. There's no suffering more great than the struggle to complete the end of Loop 2. I may have misspoke. The point is that two loops is mandatory in this game because the final challenge is unacceptable. Bracelet weapon's pretty nice in Ghouls and Ghosts. Blocks projectiles, no matter how much armor you have. I didn't remember that. That is good. That is a good feature. Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible that it won't eat the projectiles when you're toned down. Yeah, that's the thing, like the time limit. Oh my goodness. The final boss of Super Ghouls and Ghosts is the timer. It's a surprise. It's a surprise twist, too, because the time limit's pretty generous. I never really struggle with time to clear any stage until the end game. And then every second is precious. Ooh, that did almost no damage. Stage 2 boss is probably the second hardest boss in the game. If you show up with dragons, you're okay, but if you don't have your armor, like we didn't the first time, it is a downright terrifying experience. $1 a.m. Where did the time go? It's yeah, it's going on 3 for me. Yeah, super. Yeah, the randomness of the stage 2 boss and your limited ability to move around is just a deadly combination. Finally figured out a way to wear my new skates without my toes going numb in the front. GG. When I was on the Deathless grind, this stage here was like one of my greatest foes. This stage 3B and stage 4A were some of the roughest parts for Deathless. I mean, I had deaths everywhere. But I feel like most of them came through here. No! Oh, there it goes. Rip the run. Yeah, the goblins in particular. That's a shame. That was avoidable if I had been a little smarter a little earlier on. Well, at least all the pressure has been removed. The pressure to do well. That was a bat-tastrophe. It was. More deaths incoming. Have you ever collected the 1-up in this game, Zergling? Have you ever collected the 1-up item? Yeah, you get them from points, but you get there is a 1-up item. The thing about the 1-up item is basically a troll item because it only appears as a basket item, and you have to stand in one place and farm enemies for so long that the timer will run out. And on professional mode, I don't think it's even possible on to farm for it. I shouldn't chit chat when there's so much at stake. I think it spawns out of the 39th basket drop. I think every third enemy is supposed to have a basket. I think it takes 39 baskets for the 1-up to drop. On normal mode. I don't know how many it takes on the higher difficulties. Or if it's even possible. The item might not even exist on higher difficulties, for all I know. But it's in the manual. The manual talks about the 1-up, and for apparently for like decades, people thought that it was a misprint in the manual because no one knew where one was or how to find it. But yeah. You know what? I'll pick this up. Although it might get me in serious trouble. You know, I picked that up. I picked that up for you, Zergling, just because you're talking about how you like the special attack, so I was going to use it against the boss. And then I lost my armor. That might have sounded like I was trying to blame you, and I wasn't. I was just trying to say I was just trying to say look at what doing something nice got for me. That's right. That's right. Now we get an extra fun challenge mode for a little while. Oh, challenge mode over. The sound effects sound extra crunchy there. There's always a silver lining. There's a treasure chest in this level that you can't spawn because its spawn trigger is in the wall. It's somewhere in that area. I don't know exactly where. I don't know if the arrow can actually get it either. Weirdly enough. Hey, Moxie, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Hope your weekend is off to a wonderful start. And Ghouls, welcome in. Same to you. Look at this beautiful Mode 7 rotation only on the Super Nintendo. That's right. No need for blast processing here. This part of the stage reminds me of food. You know, I'm riding on a cherry pie through a land of blueberry cobbler. But it doesn't end there. There's food in the boss arena, too. I'm so happy a weapon didn't come out of that basket. Right here, the floor to me, it always looks like cheese melted over some like meatballs. There was a pizza place in my hometown when I grew up, like a small like mom and shop type pizza place. And the way they did their pizza, they put the toppings under the cheese, and when we would get like a meatball pizza, it looked a lot like this. So this always makes me think of a nice catch. Always makes me think of that pizza. No blast processing, all cobbler processing. Yes. Yeah. It doesn't even make sense, and I love it. Looks like the dragon was trying to make s'mores. Oh, I thought that was this flower spawning. This flower is a terrible run killer. Too, because of it can wake up before you cross the spikes there, and if it does, ooh, it's very tricky to deal with it. It'll fire at you as you're crossing the spikes, and it's not a whole lot you can do to defend yourself. Ah! Thought that gust of smoke had me. Super Ghouls and Ghosts has one of the best ice levels. It's the music is amazing. The ice and snow aesthetics are wonderful, and best of all, no slippery ice physics. Have you ever finished the second loop? A time or two, Ghouls. Yeah, I'm fairly proficient at this game. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm no pro, but I've beaten it, you know, a few dozen times. Twice I've managed to beat it deathless. That's one of my proudest achievements. If I can brag a little bit. I went on a grind year before last to get a no-death run, and the thing is, I pulled off the no-death run, and then I didn't play the game at all for a month, and then picked it up randomly one night, and the very next time I played it, I got a second no-death run, back-to-back. No! But alas, I still remain the same boneheaded Agent Frownie, so no matter how well I've done, I still remain a complete incompetent fool. I'm usually too afraid of the avalanches zergling to risk provoking their anger. This game always stays exciting. You're never more than 2 hits away from death. I love it. I love it. This is my favorite video game. Super Ghouls and Ghosts is my favorite game of all time. It's just this game is evergreen for me. I have fun with it every time I play it. Yeah, platformers are easily my favorite genre. I like platformers and adventure games. I don't, I actually don't know as many of, like adventure games that I really enjoy. Unfortunately, like, because what I think of when I think of adventure games is, like, so far as the ones that I like the most are things that would be like A Link to the Past, or there's an indie game called Mad Father. I like those sort of top-down pixel games where you find items and try to figure out the correct place to use them. But I don't actually know a lot of games in that category. Why Agent Frownie anyway? Why not Ambassador Frownie, or Prince Frownie the Third, or Ninja Frownie? I don't know if I could explain why Agent Frownie is Agent Frownie. I mean, it kind of just, the name Agent Frownie just kind of happened by accident because of the, Agent Frownie is a character in a comic strip that I drew to amuse one of my friends in high school. He's Frownie because he's a frowny face, and he's an agent because he's sent on a mission. But he's Agent Frownie just because that's what the comic strip kind of just necessitated him being called. It's sort of one of those, like, chicken and the egg kind of things. The logic, I forgot to pick up the bracelet. I was daydreaming and I forgot to pick up the bracelet. I can't even beat it now. I'm gonna try to beat these guys and get the false ending, rather than waste a life. Someday I'm gonna. I still have some of those comics that me and my friend drew. I'm gonna share some of the ones that I made in our Discord someday for those who are curious. But I gotta warn you, like, they're not gonna make a whole lot of sense. They might be an interesting curiosity, but oh, Arthur, I'm glad you've returned again safely. Did you bring the bracelet? No? You must go back and find it. How about Terranigma or Crusader of Sinti? I've heard of Crusader of Sinti. I don't know about. Actually, I think I've heard of both of those. Crusader of Sinti has been recommended to me a lot of times. The other one I don't really know as much about. Grim Fandango. I have a pen. I'm going to write some of these down, I think. I have a pen, but I don't have a piece of paper. Oh, I'm bleeding time. Still bleeding time. My, I'm never going to be able to read my piece of paper here. You probably enjoyed King's Quest and Space Quest series. They are basic in a lot of regards. But a lot of the find item, use item in the right spot kind of thing. Yeah, I like those kind of games. I've never played any of those. I've heard of them. Those Space and King's Quest. Agent Frownie, should you choose to accept, you have the license to frown. This message will self-destruct in 10 seconds. If you play a lot of video games, you're used to things not making much sense. Hello, by the way. Hello, Greg. Thank you for joining us. Terranigma on SNES never came out in the US, but it's a really neat Zelda-style game. It's a follow-up to Illusion of Gaia, if you've played that one. I have not. There are actual fan remakes of King's Quest 1, 2, and 3. You can download them for free and play them. They're more point-and-click adventures, and a lot of suffering is involved to beat them blind. Sounds like your kind of thing. Oops. I paused it. The perfect timing to get the blanked-out screen. Day of the Tentacle, Broken Age. So I have Maniac Mansion on the NES. See, that's the problem. I've never played a lot of those like point-and-click adventure type games. I think I would love them, but I've never played a lot of PC games. I've always been a console guy. So I know there's like a whole world of them that I've kind of missed out on. I see it sends you back to stage 5, just like Ghosts and Goblins when you do it wrong. I couldn't help myself and had to do it wrong to see what happened. Yeah. There are quite a few point-and-click adventure games on the Switch, Zelda Dude says. Maybe I should do some browsing around the eShop. But I still kind of think like the again like the more like Link to the Past style interface. The sort of top-down exploring is probably like the peak style for me for those kind of games. But saying that, I don't have as much experience as I'd like, so. Why am I waking this guy up? What is wrong with me? Alright, this is it. Cross your fingers, everybody. My heart starts to race every time I pick this weapon up. I'm so nervous. My heart's pounding. My palms are sweating. Yeah. I was thinking that too, Zelda, dude. I wanted to say it's a good thing I didn't have spaghetti for dinner. Whoa, he's coming for me. I got so lucky there. I should have been ruined. Oh, I have some very belated thank yous to give out. I feel terrible for not being more grateful. But Young Moon and Ginger Llama, welcome to the stream, both of you, and thank you very much for following. I really appreciate that. I'm sorry it took me so long to see the activity feed. I hope you're both doing very well and that you've been enjoying the stream. As you can probably see, the fadeaway jump is my favorite technique. It's not the fastest way to kill this guy, but it's certainly safe. We did it. We beat the game, my friends. Victory. GG. 1 credit clear. Oh, thank goodness. It got ugly. It got ugly, and I made some really boneheaded mistakes, but we did it. We made it through. Time for the victory lap. Safe outspeeds risk. It certainly does for me. It certainly does for me. Don't be fooled. We're not playing the game anymore. We're just taking a victory lap. More fun with mistakes? Thank you. I tend to agree. That's it's part of why I never learned like how other people do things. Thank you for the GGs. That could have gone south very quickly. Could have. That's part of why, like, you know, when I have a game I know I want to do challenge runs of, I try to never watch anyone else play it, and I'm very sort of stubborn about refusing to learn sort of like the community strats and techniques. I think it adds a lot more like drama when I'm stuck with my own substandard strats to beat things. I must sleep. Farewell. Sweet dreams, Zelda dude. Have sweet dreams, my friend. I hope that your health continues to improve, and you get to spend a lot more time gaming. We did it. We did it. Always feels good. Always feels good when you don't lose your armor. And so you get to make it to the victory screen looking like a golden stud. That battle though, fighting those two guys back to back with the goddess bracelet. That's why I'm so insistent that if you don't do 2 loops, you haven't played the game, because that battle right there, that is the whole game for me. For anyone who's beat it, I can't imagine anyone would disagree with me that battle right there, fighting those 2 guys with the bracelet, is the whole game. It is horrifically difficult. Every time I watch someone do a first playthrough of this, they are there for hours. I was there for hours the first time I ever beat this. It is so brutal. I'm with you. I like learning from just the game itself. Then after beating it, it's fun to watch other players and see their tricks. Yeah, and I'm at the point now with, I think with Castlevania, where I'm pretty much done with all the challenges for NES Castlevania, so I'm less afraid to watch people play that now. Like Contra, I really like finding first playthroughs of some of those games, the ones that I really love now, because I've done a lot of that stuff with, because I'm not really worried about anything being spoiled for me now. So if I can find, when I can find first playthroughs of Castlevania or Contra or this game, boy, I love hopping into those streams. And watching other people go through that learning process, go through the stages of grief when you make it to the end of Loop 2 and you realize how terrible it is. Cap Sid, welcome in. Thank you. Omega Ultimate Mighty Outrageous GG. Thank you, Cap Sid. Don't be fooled. Beating those 2 with the bracelet, worst part of all Super G and G. 100%. Castlevania 1. Castlevania 1. Castlevania 3, I've got a lot of unfinished business with. Castlevania 1, I've done any percent. I did Deathless any percent and Deathless whip only, and I've also done Damageless any percent. I was thinking about doing trying to do a Deathless low percent run, but I think that might be too hard for me. That's why I say I think I'm at the point of being done with Castlevania challenges, because I kind of want to do low percent, but it's so hard. Did a couple strange challenges for Castlevania 3. I'd say more, but it might spoil something. Thank you for holding back. I appreciate that. Castlevania 3 I've only beaten once. And I got the Sypha ending. So I'd like to play through it to get all the character endings. And then maybe try and get to where I could do a Deathless run of it. I think that would be fun. I would try to do it. I'd probably just want to do it Trevor only, though. I only used Grant and Sypha a little bit, but I didn't really spend enough time with either character to really appreciate them, to be fair, but I also just didn't really enjoy playing as them. They're probably great. They're probably great, the other characters, if you know how to use them. And maybe I'll warm up to them at some point. But it's just like, I just feel like if I'm playing a NES Castlevania game, I kind of want to be Simon. And so, you know, you can't be Simon, but Trevor basically is Simon, so close enough. Enjoying watching others make mistakes once you know a game, like like watching a player resign to wear a worm egg on their head for 100 hours without knowing it's curable. Not only that, but here's the thing that's even more interesting to me, is I wore it for 100 hours and I didn't know it was taking away half of my souls. I only figured that out the other night. Even when I took it off, I didn't figure that out. I didn't figure that out until the other night. I fought one of those electric demons in Anor Londo that hang out near the blacksmith. Because those were giving me 500 XP, and I know that those only gave me 250 while I had the egg. I knew you seemed to be grinding too long. Well, I did. Well, fortunately, I only really went on a level grind one time. I stopped in Farm Souls to pick up about 3 levels, and I think that's the only time that I was ever in grind mode. But it is much fast. I do grow levels much faster now. But see, the thing was, I took off the egg head, and then I immediately, like, when I cured the egg, I immediately started wearing the treasure chest hat, And so I thought, I was like, wow, I'm getting a lot of souls. The treasure chest hat really increases the amount of souls you get. But I was already getting, I was getting double souls without it. I just didn't notice. So I thought the treasure chest hat was it does boost your souls, but not quite as good as I thought. Thank you for the GG, Angelus. But yeah, because I immediately put that on, I didn't notice, and then yeah, I figured it out the other night. I knew the egg had to have some bad effect on me because people kept trying to tell me why the egg was bad for me. So I knew there was something bad about having it, but I didn't know what it was. And I just didn't think about it. I did a Trevor only run. Was a few other factors in the other run. Decided why not Sypha only. That was a hard run for strange reasons. I didn't think that should ruin anything describing it that way. Now that's sufficiently vague, Zergling. All right, my friends, we're gonna switch over. We're gonna go from 16-bit to 8-bit. We're gonna go to the NES, and we're gonna try playing Journey to Silius. Is how we're gonna probably the last thing we're gonna do tonight is try playing that game. It might take a couple runs to beat it. I might not beat it at all. I don't know how many runs I have in me, but I'm gonna make a solid effort to try and beat it. I have beaten it once before. Um, that was at least a year ago, and it's the only time I've beaten it. So I don't know the game very well. I'm still in the very early stages with that game. And it's made even worse by having not played it for so long. But I remember enjoying it quite a bit, and it's got some fantastic music. So let's enjoy that. GG's again. Time for me to get some sleep. See you around, Frownie. See you, Zergling. Thank you for being here. Sleep well, my friend. Rest well with pleasant dreams, and we'll hopefully I'll see you again next week. And for everyone else, I'll see you again in just a few moments.